Hello everybody, this is the Timberline, and I don't know if you heard, but ToonSquid just got not 1.1 or 2, 3, 4, 5, but 2.0 update. We got so many effects. We got bones. I know a lot of people are excited about that. You can see here that we got this simple stick figure. So yeah, stick fights are back. So if you're waiting to play Super Smash Bros. On the new Switch, you don't have to wait anymore. You can just play it in ToonSquid. Alright, so inside ToonSquid, you can see here in the Properties menu, you can click Bones. And if you unhide and hide, you get this T-pose. It's more of an X pose, I guess. And basically, just like before with other adjustments, you have all your settings for the bones here in the keyframe menu, or whatever it's called. And then you just plot in the positioning and the rotation of the bones. And you can, make your rigged character kick a sandbag. It's not very good. Now, I know a lot of people are really excited about rigging and bones, and although we had some rigging before, this is definitely a big upgrade in my opinion. Alright, so how about we try to make this little figure maybe punch the bag? Let's see here if we move it like this. He's like gently tapping.
Mr. Sandbag, I am sorry. Can I please punch you?
He's just gently caressing it. Okay, not much of a punch here. So I'm also completely new in this update. Although I've been trying the beta version, and I haven't been able to or allowed to share anything yet. So now that it's out, I can finally share with you guys the many awesome things we got here. I'm having difficulty getting him to not flap his hands, but you can see it stays up even after he kicks, because I just moved this arm and now it's here. So we also got bones for this sandbag that I just wanted to show you guys, because you can see it's basically 4 bones, but it creates so much expression. All right, then we got Gaussian Blur, and that for me, that's a big plus. I've really been waiting for that. You can see here, it's basically just like everything else is 2 points here on the keyframe menu, and then you just input different values. If we go to the foreground layer, you can see it's basically the same, just in reverse with the B, decrease and increase when we go back and forth. And actually also added this adjustment layer of brightness going up and down. And by the way, I didn't make these are demos from the website. Then we got perspective and warp effects, and they can be animated as well. And if I just make a quick little demonstration here of door, the most beautiful door you've probably ever seen. Got a little handle here and keyhole. Yeah, looks good. All right, so I have the door here on 3 layers. I got the doorknob on one, the door, and then the door hole itself. And if we just extend it a little bit, 20 frames. Yeah, looks good. Then we can try and use the perspective tool. So see, I added on the door layer, I added a perspective effect. And if we plot in the key points here, I bet we can put this door into perspective, and because opening doors in animation has been so time consuming normally, but now we can just stretch it and put it into perspective here. It looks okay, that's not supposed to happen. Yeah, so these points can be a bit tricky to get a hold of, but if you zoom in, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's a door opening, and that's really nice. You can, the reason I put the doorknob on a different layer is because it's not supposed to look flat like the door, so I'm just putting it like here, and then magically it appears on the other side. How did you do that? You're a magician. Oh, so it's actually the same doorknob on 2 sides here. That's some real Photoshop magic. Except it's ToonSquid magic. Oi. Gets the job done. Yeah, you get the picture. Come on in. Come on in. You can come in. Come in here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you get the idea. All right. So this is also an example of the warp. No, this is actually the perspective effect, right? But see how I guess K1, the creator of ToonSquid, made these demos, and here he's stretching the little water surface thing. It just looks so good, but it's so simple. Now where did that plane go? I can't find that plane no more. It's Arnold flying this plane. And let's talk about the propellers here. What's going on here? You can see if I disable the FX button here, it's just static image. It's a static image of propellers. And if I activate it again, then they spin around. And that's because we have a new effect called spin. And this is a thing I guess no one really asked for, but it's so awesome. It's spinning. The spin effect make things spin. Yeah. And of course, like everything else, the spin effect can be adjusted as well in the keyframe menu. I don't know what that menu is called. That's called the keyframe menu. Click here. Yeah, you can plug in keyframes here and adjust how fast something would spin. There's a lot of possibilities in this new update. I've got a few ideas, just like how to utilize these new effects. Can we just agree that this is the plane from Tailspin? I mean, it's so iconic, so of course it is. But I just thought that was a little note to my nostalgic past, because I really like Tailspin. Even though it's a little weird to see the beloved characters from the Jungle Book in a show where, I mean, at least they're wearing clothes now, so I guess that's an upgrade of some sort. And if we open up properties here on this layer, you can see, yeah, we got a spin effect. Also, we got a new effect called noise, which I didn't get to play around with, but I'm gonna. But let's try to change the speed here, because you can input values now by hand, I suppose. You don't have to rely on the little slider here. And don't worry, slider, I'm not putting you out of job. It's just sometimes nice to put in some numbers, okay? So if we put it way down here, it's almost, yeah, it just rotates slower, and yeah, you get the picture. You can control the different speeds of how it rotates. Rotado mucho. I don't speak Spanish. All right, so before we had to use symbols to loop stuff, but now you can just select frames and create loops and extend that loop to the end. That's so useful. You can even like change the timing of the loop, and yeah, just move it around. It's really nice. That's just domarigato kaiwando. Yeah. Oh, and one more thing, I just wanted to show you here, the blur effect is also applied on the entire animation of the plane here, like when it comes towards the screen. So it scales up and then opacity goes down. Super useful. So, mesh. Are you a person who like image but don't like animate? You can make little puppet from mesh. There you go. But parallax, this is the big one, I feel. Because parallaxing is just such a big part of animation, right? So this example with the lion here, you can see when the camera moves without the effect on, it basically just moves the camera and everything is static. Okay, that's cool. This is nothing new, but when we enable it, this is where the magic happens. You can see everything moves in different rates. The background is fixed, the lion is fixed, but everything in between create this illusion of depth, right? And this is how animators do parallax already, but now we have a function for it. So we can move things back and forth. And it's first I thought it was just like these 4 or 3 layers of clouds, but it's actually more intricate than that. I'll show you in a minute, but it just looks so nice. This poor lion thing. He made it to heaven, at least. That's something. And if I change the depth here, you can see the camera follows the lion differently. It seems as if when the slider's all the way up to 100, it will follow the camera completely, and when it's way down, yeah, as you can see here, which actually looks pretty nice, right? I could imagine this in a desert, classic desert shot. Or however, lion sounds in reverse. That is up for debate. I think that's exactly how it sounds. So yeah, when it's 100%, tracks what's set to 100. And let's put it 50. Yeah, we get this slow panning. Oh, it looks so good. Wow. So much more cinematic, right? Very interesting. But the background cloud here, this is that layer. We have so many, and I wondered what these different numbers were. But in the parallax setting, you can see, so it correlates to what number the depth of the parallax effect has on each drawing here. And all the drawings compile up to create this big cloud in the background. But every little part of it is set to different depth settings. So I'm guessing the cloud looks a bit more 3D, which is just like such a subtle effect. I almost can't tell it's there, but I mean, yeah, that's a great idea actually. I'm gonna have some fun with that effect. So even within the drawing layers, you can have different parallax settings, not even on just the animate layers. By the way, this video is not sponsored, but hit me up, man. Big updates to vector. We can make vector groups now. Which I guess is just like regular groups, but for vectors. There's actually a lot going on with vectors. I'm not the biggest user of vector, but yeah, it's just awesome to have. We can even make these subtraction subpaths, which is like working with negative space in vector. Got SVG import. I don't know if that means anything to you. I'm probably not gonna use that. We can change the points of a shape, which might be a game changer, actually. I have an idea that this might prove so useful down the line. Yeah, the same effects as before with perspective change and warping goes for vector objects as well. So that's nice. Now down here, this is quite interesting. When you make a vector shape, it can either be a path, and you can change the points, or it can be a shape. So the points are around the shape instead of in the path. Hope that makes sense. We can even erase lines like that now. That's super useful for tangents and yeah, full screen mode. Nice to have. You can loop keyframes, so if you animated something in the keyframe menu, you can just loop those, and yeah, that's about it. There's a few more things I'll cover, but yeah, if you make something awesome in the new update, I suggest you come to our Discord server where we discuss ToonSquid and other apps as well, and it's called iPad Animators, and the link will be in the description. So, I'm Timberline, and I'm an animator. I make stuff like this, little row here, chopping up food. I also work on a project called Temple Legends.
I just learned levitating. I don't know anything. I don't know if this is gonna work. Let me just try again, but please don't interrupt this time, okay?
So they're trying to activate this ancient guardian statue temple line thing. And the story is about Alex and Boomy. This is Alex and Boomy in Denver, and yeah, they like to explore different temples and ruins, and basically they're treasure hunters, and they live in a crashed spaceship together. They play a lot of video games. Yeah, and actually pixelation is a new effect in the new 2.0 update, so I might use that for when I make video games. That's all for me. Have fun.
Temple Studio.